This program is brought to you by Stanford University.
I am a PhD candidate in neuroscience, and I work in the bioengineering department at Stanford.
I'm actually doing a JSD, which is a doctorate in law, along with a master's in history.
Stanford has a very impressive track record of faculty and students working across schools. And what we know is that innovation comes from risk-taking.
We all want to do something that we think makes a difference.
The way I work is to identify a need where I can be useful.
The Stanford Interdisciplinary Graduate Fellowship Program will make a difference in several ways. What these fellows will be able to do is focus purely on the work that they're doing.
What I'm doing in the laboratory is to control neuronal circuits involved in Parkinson's disease one at a time and try to answer the question, which circuit elements are responsible for the therapeutic effects of deep brain stimulation? In our laboratory, the graduate students come from different departments, and this means different expertise is put together to solve a problem. I have colleagues that are in chemistry department, colleagues that are in bioengineering, and colleagues that do pure physics.
They're the next generation of leaders and thinkers. They're developing new sorts of relationships to collaborate with different areas of expertise.
There are things that we need to change and that we kind of carry with us just because that's the way it's always been. My work deals with the transplantation of the English common law into the Middle East between the two world wars. In the past, maybe law was perceived as this independent discipline. I don't think that that's all there is to it, and I think that has to do with the whole idea of legal transplants and this perception that you can take law from one country and transplant it into another because this only has to do with logic, and eventually the whole world will come to this realization that there is one law that can be applied universally.
Stanford attracts amazing graduate students. They're already exceptional, but these fellowships enable us to support the very best of those students. And without the support, my concern is that they would just end up doing more traditional research.
My project is relatively complex because it involves both the biotechnology side and the medical need. And in order to pursue this the right way, I needed to have good supporters in both fields.
I haven't had to work as a teaching assistant or in other odd jobs just to make ends meet and just focus on my own research and my own scholarship in a way that, first of all, enables me to go much deeper in my own research, but has also enabled me, I hope, to finish my research in a shorter amount of time.
Stanford is investing in graduate education, and we're doing that because we see it as essential to preparing the next generation of leaders and thinkers for society.
So I guess what I'm hoping is that my research will inform some of the policy debates that are going on today. There have been many failures and many disappointments in these attempts to introduce the rule of law abroad. And I think that if we read history a little bit more carefully, we might learn a thing or two.
These students can think in genuinely intellectually expansive ways and will lead the world to thinking in new ways.
Thank you.